Good evening. So far we have understood regarding first 5-year plan in India, followed by second 5-year plan, followed by third 5-year plan, and then comes our plan holiday from the year 1966 up to the year 1969, immediately followed by fourth 5-year plan from 1969 to 1974. And I already told you who are all the prime ministers during this particular time. Now let's go ahead and discuss regarding fifth 5-year plan in India, that is from 1974 up to the year 1979. And I told you already the most important point with respect to fifth 5-year plan. Fifth 5-year plan is that it has been terminated 1 year earlier. What exactly happened, I am going to discuss with you now. But I would like to add one thing. Fifth 5-year plan has been terminated 1 year earlier. And when it comes to fifth Lok Sabha, what do you mean by this fifth Lok Sabha? Fifth time Lok Sabha elections were conducted, and fifth Lok Sabha has been constituted. For example, in the year 2024, that is this year, Lok Sabha elections are conducted, and this is called 18th Lok Sabha election. This is called 18th Lok Sabha election, means so far 17 Lok Sabha elections were held and 17 Lok Sabhas have been constituted. 2024 is the 18th Lok Sabha election. Am I clear? Meaning whatever the Lok Sabha that is constituted after the election, this is the 18th Lok Sabha, and it will continue for a period of 5 years. Clear? And kindly remember, meaning it indicates 18 times so far in India Lok Sabha elections were held. Is that okay? Including 2024. But in between we also had, this so-called midterm elections. Very important one. So including midterm elections, including 2024 elections were conducted for 18 times so far in India. Is that okay? Midterm elections are conducted when the Lok Sabha is dissolved earlier, meaning as per the constitution, the term of the Lok Sabha is 5 years. But if the Lok Sabha is dissolved before this 5 years, then you need to go for the election within 6 months. Clear? And such type of elections are called mid-term elections. And in India, so far 5 times such mid-term elections are conducted, including 5 mid-term elections, including 2024 general election in India. Lok Sabha elections are conducted for 18 times. Please remember this point. Clear? But when it comes to one important point regarding fifth Lok Sabha, at the time Srimati Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister. During the tenure of this, this is sixth Lok Sabha, Lok Sabha term has been extended by 1 year. That was the only Lok Sabha where the term of the Lok Sabha has been extended. Reasons I have discussed with you during our Indian polity classes. Please go through those classes. But we are in economy class, and let's stick to the economy. Now look at this. Now when it comes to the fifth 5-year plan, so this is from 1974 to 1979. You understand very clearly, this is from 1974 to 1979 only. So this is how it has been planned. But because of the various developments that took place, it has been terminated 1 year earlier. So the possible question in the examination is that which of the following 5-year plans has been terminated 1 year earlier, and your answer should be fifth 5-year plan. Clear? Now let's see here. But when it comes to fifth 5-year plan, let's understand certain things. The period is 1974 to 1979. Let me give you a few points regarding Indian polity, meaning our political system during that time. In India, in the year 1971, elections were held, and that was the fifth Lok Sabha, as I told you. Srimati Indira Gandhi got the thumping majority, and she became the Prime Minister of India again. Clear? Now what happened when it comes to 1971 election? Srimati Indira Gandhi contested from Rai Bareilly constituency in Uttar Pradesh. From the same constituency, Jai Prakash Narayana also contested, but he was defeated and Srimati Indira Gandhi was declared elected, and she became the prime minister and she continued. Later what happened? Shri Jai Prakash Narayanan, so he approached the Allahabad High Court challenging the election of Srimati Indira Gandhi, because during elections Srimati Indira Gandhi has indulged in corrupt electoral practices and she has misused the public authorities, meaning government authorities. State machinery has been misused by Srimati Indira Gandhi in the capacity as the Prime Minister. Basically, what will happen? Normally, the state machinery will be functioning on the directions of the government. There is no problem at all. But using the state machinery for the purpose of election meetings is wrong. That is considered to be, unauthorized, this practice. That is the reason why, based on these grounds, like corrupt electoral practices and also misusing the state machinery, and for misusing using the men and muscle power to win the elections. So these allegations have been framed against Srimati Indira Gandhi, and Allahabad High Court accepted the petition. It happened in the year 1971. It happened in the year 1971, and Allahabad High Court delivered judgment on June 12th, 1975. June 12th, 1975, the Allahabad High Court delivered the judgment, and Allahabad High Court has nullified the election of Srimati Indira Gandhi, meaning she has been declared as a candidate who involved in the corrupt electoral practices. Hence, her election is nullified, meaning she is no more the member of the Lok Sabha, right? But she continued to be, as the Prime Minister, because Constitution permits a person to be the Prime Minister or a minister without being a member of the Parliament for not more than 6 months. Srimati Indira Gandhi and her coterie exploited this provision. Though her election has been nullified, though she has been punished for not to contest in the elections for 6 years, she continued to be the Prime Minister, and that irked the opposition parties. Then they started raising slogans, they took out the rallies, and they went for the agitations against the government. And during that particular time, Srimati Indira Gandhi on June 25th, 1975 declared national emergency. So when it comes to the national emergency, it was the third time in India the national emergency was declared. Clear? So, but when it comes to this national emergency and earlier national emergencies, two earlier emergencies were because of the war against China and war against Pakistan. But when it comes to the third national emergency, that was declared, that was imposed on the grounds of the internal disturbances. And Srimati Indira Gandhi wanted to be there in the power. She imposed national emergency. Whenever the national emergency is imposed in India, the concept of federation is lost and India will become unitary, meaning all the powers of the states will be there with the central government. India will become unitary, and all the states and state governments must listen to the directions that are given by the central government. This is what happened in the year 1975. That is the reason why, during the time, all opposition party leaders were arrested, they were thrown behind the bars. And everybody who started raising the voice, they were arrested, they were thrown behind the bars. That is the reason why this particular third national emergency period from 1975 to 1977 was considered to be the darkest days in the history of independent India. So this is all happened because of the authoritarian nature of Srimati Indira Gandhi. autocracy of Srimati Indira Gandhi at that particular time. And during this particular time, elections, I told you already, 1971 elections were held. Next elections must be held in the year 1976. But Srimati Indira Gandhi, by passing, a law in the parliament, deliberately extended the term of the Lok Sabha by 1 year. Alright, so this is important again. And of course, during the same period of 1976, she went for the constitutional amendment, the most controversial constitution amendment. It was the 42nd Amendment Act, 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. So all this happened during the this particular period, and only the fifth Lok Sabha term has been extended by 1 year so far. So the possible question in politics is that which of the following Lok Sabha's term has been extended by 1 year, and your answer should be fifth Lok Sabha. Okay, so fifth 5-year plan was terminated 1 year earlier. Fifth Lok Sabha term has been extended by 1 year. Please remember these two. Clear? And of course, it happened simultaneously at the time. So now, when it comes to fifth fifth 5-year plan, it was from 1974 to 1979. It has been terminated 1 year earlier. So, but again, what happened in 1977? The national emergency was lifted, and India went for the elections. So during that election, because of the anti-incumbency factor, large number of people and political parties were against Srimati Indira Gandhi and Indian National Congress at that particular time, and they have voted against the government. That is the reason why Congress party lost the power. Srimati Indira Gandhi was defeated, and then what happened? Janata Party came to the power. For the first time in India, a non-Congress party came to the power, headed by Shri Morarji Desai. And he continued for a period of time, but later, because of the internal factors, he has been replaced by Shri Chaudhary Charan Singh. And that was a very short-lived government. And there was an inevitable election in the year 1980. So during that particular time, again, Srimati Indira Gandhi, Congress party got the majority, and again she became the Prime Minister of India and continued as the Prime Minister till her assassination on October 31st, 1984. And very next day, Rajiv Gandhi, one of the sons of Srimati Indira Gandhi, has been appointed as the Prime Minister. India went for the elections the same year, and Congress party, because of the sympathy on the assassination of Srimati Indira Gandhi, it got thumping majority. For the first time, a political party crossed 400 seats in the Lok Sabha. So out of the total seats, it got 411 seats. Very, very, very huge. With that thumping majority, Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister. Clear? Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister, and he served India up to the year 1989. But in the year 1989 election, Congress party was defeated. So from the so-called more than 400 seats, it got just less than 200 seats. But Congress party was the single largest party at that time. But Rajiv Gandhi refused to form the government, though he was invited by the president. That is the reason why in the year 1989, National Front government has been formed. And that National Front government was headed by Vishwanath Pratap Singh, and became the Prime Minister of India. But after a period of time, again because of the internal conflicts and politics, Vishwanath Pratap Singh, VP Singh, has been replaced by Chandrasekhar. Clear? It happened during the years 1989, 1990, 91. But again, these two put together, they served for around 2 years. That was a short-lived government. In the year 1991, there was an inevitable election, and during that election campaign, Rajiv Gandhi was brutally assassinated. It happened at Sri Perumbuduru in Tamil Nadu. The incident occurred on May 21st, 1991. That was the mid-election time. But later, what happened? Elections continued, and Congress party, though did not get the majority, it became the single largest party in the Lok Sabha. It was invited to form the government at that particular time, and the person Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao, late Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao, who resigned from the politics and who went to his hometown, was requested to come back and lead the government. And Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao led the government, led the party in the power for 5 years, and it was a minority government. Clear? And that minority government was headed by late Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao, and he continued from 1991 up to the year 1996. Am I clear? So during this period, what exactly happened? Let's try to understand. So when it comes to the fifth 5-year plan, the main objectives were Garibi Hatao. This is a very, very, very important slogan with respect to Srimati Indira Gandhi during the 1971 election campaign. And this slogan attracted a large number of people, and she got thumping majority during 1971 election, and that has been made as an objective, and that is one of the two important objectives in the fifth 5-year plan. One is Garibi Hatao, and the second one is the attainment of self-reliance. Poverty eradication was given the highest priority. Attainment of self-reliance was also given the importance during the fifth 5-year plan. Very, 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 very important. Now, during this period, a national level program of minimum needs was introduced. This is called MNP, Minimum Needs Program, meaning whatever is required for the people, minimum, that must be provided. And this is elementary education is a part of minimum need, safe drinking water, health care, shelter for landless, nutrition, rural roads, rural electrification, slum development, they all became the part of the minimum needs program. Continuously there were questions on this. Clear? Please remember this one. You may also get a question on this. Am I clear? Right? So this is regarding national, this is a minimum needs program that was launched during the fifth 5-year plan. Look at this. So when it comes to 1977, Janata Party came to the power. I told you already. The fifth plan was terminated on March 31st, 1978. Clear? Meaning it has been terminated 1 year earlier. Clear? Then that was the time of the introduction of a rolling plan by Janata Party. Right? And the Janata Party that terminated the fifth 5-year plan 1 year in advance has introduced a plan called rolling plan. Very, 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 very important. And what is the rolling plan period? 1978 to 1980. Is that clear? Very, very important. Who introduced rolling plans? Janata Party government. Clear? And who headed that Janata Party government? Answer is Morarji Desai. Clear? And during this particular fifth plan, public distribution system was introduced. Clear? I will be explaining you regarding public distribution system when we discuss about the agriculture. Clear? Next. So when it comes to this period, there was a severe inflation during this period and led to the bad performance of the plan. Clear? Meaning it happened especially at the end of the fifth plan. Now let's go ahead. Some points regarding this. But even though there was inflation, fifth plan was considered to be a success. It helped to increase the production. It helped to increase employment. It helped to reduction of poverty and inequality. So because of all these reasons, fifth plan is considered to be a success. Am I clear? Very important one, right? And you should remember, what is the status of each plan. This plan was able to achieve these objectives due to its focus on investment in infrastructure and industry. So the government started focusing on investment, right? And that investment should be diverted to infrastructure. Then that will lead to the development of the nation. Clear? At the same time, it also emphasized on the agricultural development. Clear? While there was a great success, clear, it was a great success, but there was also many problems with not just the plan itself, but how quickly it was completed. Very important one. So everything was not a success, but there were issues. Its approach to industrialization was very inefficient, and extreme amounts of the resources were put into construction that in many cases was never completed. This is the problem with the fifth 5-year plan. So on one side we are saying success, majority of the areas were success, but also we have the crisis, we have issues in certain areas like, here industrialization, which was considered to be, extremely inefficient. Is that clear? And when it comes to the, construction also, large number of resources were put into use and many of them, went in vain. So they have been wasted and those constructions were not completed. Clear? So this is regarding fifth plan, but I have some more information for you. Kindly have a look at this. So this is the fifth plan period, terminated 1 year in advance. We already know. Target growth was 4.4%, but achieved 4.8%. That is the reason why we are saying it is a success. Clear? Right, got it? Now, let's go ahead. Yeah. So let's go ahead and look into this. It proposed to achieve, which one? Fifth 5-year plan. This point we already know. Two main objectives: Garibi Hatao, removal of poverty, and also second one is the attainment of self-reliance. Very important. Am I clear? Next. So next comes the rolling plan. I told you already, this is the rolling plan period 1978 to 1980. Clear? And the fifth plan was terminated in 1978. Rolling plan gave priority to rural development. Kindly remember, rolling plan was introduced only one time in India, after terminating fifth 5-year plan 1 year in advance. And the priority that was given by rolling plan was rural development. But what do you mean by rolling plan? In rolling plan, I told you already in the earlier class, the plan is revised at the end of every year for the next 4 years, along with the formulation of a plan for the fifth year. Do you remember this? I already explained this one to you. Okay. So let's go ahead. So this is designed to continue for a specific period of time and is subjected to regular review and updating. This is the basic purpose of the rolling plan. Another very important point, maybe a possible question in the examination, that I have given at the bottom. Somebody is considered to be the father of the rolling plans. Who is that somebody? Tomorrow it may be a question. Who is considered to be the father of rolling plans, right? And he was a Swedish economist, sociologist, and politician, all in one. What's his name? Carl Gunnar Myrdal. Please write down this name. Very important and maybe a possible question in the examination. Am I clear? So I told you already, you have to remember years, you have to remember the, the names, and you have to remember, certain data. Clear? This is the beauty of economy and the beauty of our Indian economy, right? So hopefully you are enjoying the classes. Look at this. So when it comes to the, you know there were two sixth plans. Is that okay? What do you mean by this? Two sixth plans in the sense, fifth plan was terminated, rolling plan was considered to be the sixth plan, with an idea that to roll every year. Clear? But again, I told you already, in the 1980 elections, Indira Gandhi, her party came to the power and she became the Prime Minister of India. And immediately after that one, she terminated the rolling plans and she introduced the sixth 5-year plan starting from 1980. That is the reason why some people will say that there are two six plans, but in reality not two six plans. Sixth plan is from 1980 onwards, right? Fifth plan is from 1974 to 78 because it has been terminated 1 year earlier. In between 2 years you have, that is 78 to 80. So this is the period where we have introduced rolling plans. Clear? So Janata government put forward a plan for 1978 to 1983, emphasizing on employment, in contrast to Nehru model, which the government criticized for the concentration of power, widening inequality, and for mounting poverty. However, the government lasted only for 2 years. Which government? Janata government continued only for 2 years. Congress returned to the power in 1980 and launched a different plan aimed at directly attacking the problem of the poverty by creating conditions of an expanding economy. Because every government wants to do something greater than what earlier government has done. That is the reason why in every plan we will see certain new concepts. Am I clear? Right? And every government will criticize the previous government for not doing that. So now we are going to do something better than what they have done. And the same, the pattern will be repeated in the forthcoming years also. Clear? Now, sixth plan period. So 1980 elections were held and Srimati Indira Gandhi became the Prime Minister. Otherwise considered to be very controversial, authoritarian, autocratic. That is the reason why there were internal conflicts within the Congress party. And of course in 1969 itself, there was a split in the Congress party. Right? So that continued in Congress party. But when it comes to, the national emergency time, her real autocratic leadership that has come into the picture, and she literally thrown most of the leaders behind the bars. All important leaders like, this Jayaprakash Narayan, and for that matter, Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, L.K. Advani. So many people were thrown behind the bars. That was the reason why there was so much of, anti-incumbency factor towards Srimati Indira Gandhi. That is the reason why she lost, 1977 elections. And after that, when Janata Party came to the power, it arrested Chaudhary Charan Singh. He was the, Home Minister. He arrested Sanjay Gandhi and Indira Gandhi, and both were thrown behind the bars. And that created lots of sympathy against Srimati Indira Gandhi. Otherwise, people call her popularly as Amma. Right? And most of the people especially at the rural level, what exactly is happening at the ground level? Clear with respect to, Srimati Indira Gandhi. But when the news spread that she has been arrested and thrown behind the bars, there was a huge sympathy against Srimati Indira Gandhi. That is the reason why when Janata Party government collapsed and Srimati Indira Gandhi contested in 1980 elections, they again got the majority and she became the Prime Minister and she started ruling India. But when it comes to 1980 till her death in 1984, continues to be, very calm, and she was concentrating on the development. But her focus very importantly on Khalistan movement that occurred in, Punjab. and there was a demand for the division, partition of the Punjab, and to establish a separate entity called Khalistan. But our constitution does not permit, and Srimati Indira Gandhi was against. And in order to maintain the concept of unity of India, the government took stern decisions. So during the time, the Khalistani terrorists, they entered into Amritsar temple, Golden Temple, and they occupied the temple, and some innocents were also there as the hostages. And Srimati Indira Gandhi had to take stern steps, and she took certain very stringent decisions of sending army into the Amritsar temple, and Khalistani terrorists were, they were killed. Right, but entering into temple, Golden Temple, and bloodshed, huge bloodshed within the temple, that irked some of the people who support the religion. But in order to show the people of India that she is against the terrorism, not against the people who are Sikhs. That is the reason why she had two gunmen who were Sikhs. Clear? And it was an intention of Srimati Indira Gandhi to show to the people of India that she is not against this religion, but she was against only the so-called this terrorism. But unfortunately, what happened? The two security bodyguards of Srimati Indira Gandhi brutally shooted her in her residence on October 31st, 1984. And of course, entire India was shocked. And during this period, Sri Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister. Is that okay? And the sixth plan came into the existence after the re-election of Srimati Indira Gandhi. During this sixth plan, high priority was given to energy. Agriculture was given the second priority. Percentage of the people below poverty line came down. There was a positive performance of the oil sector during this particular time, meaning everything went on well during this particular period. Clear? Next. So when it comes to the food grain production also increased considerably during this particular plan, sixth 5-year plan. Focus was to increase national income, modern technology, decreasing poverty and unemployment. Hence, the sixth plan was considered to be a success. Clear? And unfortunately, what happened? Srimati Indira Gandhi was assassinated on October 31st, 1984. Rajiv Gandhi became the Prime Minister of India. Rajiv Gandhi entered into the politics in the year 1980 after accidental death of his brother Sanjay Gandhi. Otherwise, Sanjay Gandhi was considered to be a right shoulder to Srimati Indira Gandhi, who played very crucial role. Of course, people did not like that because of the manner in which it was handled during the time of this national emergency of 1975 to 77. And at the time he was the member of parliament from Amethi constituency, which is always there in the news. So after his accidental death, Rajiv Gandhi, who was not at all interested in politics, who was serving as a pilot, was asked by Srimati Indira Gandhi and Congress party to enter into politics. Though he did not like the politics, he entered into the politics, and he got elected from Amethi constituency, and he became a member of the parliament. In the year 1982, Asian Games were held in India, and the responsibility has been handed over to Sri Rajiv Gandhi, which has been conducted very successfully by Rajiv Gandhi. And immediately after the assassination of Srimati Indira Gandhi, he was the right choice at that particular time, and he became the Prime Minister of India the very next day after the assassination of Srimati Indira Gandhi. Is that okay? At the time his age was just 40. That is the reason why he was the youngest Prime Minister that India ever had, and he became the Prime Minister at the age of 40. Is that okay? and at the end of that year, India went for elections, and Congress party won 411 seats. 411 seats. Is that okay? And one important amendment during his time was 61st amendment that occurred in 88 and 89. And what is 61st amendment? Very, very important one. The voting age was reduced from 21 to 18. Today, all the people who completed 18 years of age are eligible voters, and they became eligible voters because of the 61st Amendment. Clear? And this 61st Amendment was, done during the Prime Ministership of Sri Rajiv Gandhi. Very, 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 very important. And when he was the Prime Minister, he also wanted to amend the constitution to provide constitutional status to Panchayati Raj as well as municipalities. But that was not successful, but it became successful later during the time of the Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao. And through 73rd and 74th constitutional amendments, Panchayati Raj and municipalities became the constitutional bodies. But the actual work initiated during the time of the Shri Rajiv Gandhi, meaning he is also associated with a large number of things with respect to India. One important thing is the reduction of a voting age from 21 years to 18 years was done by Rajiv Gandhi government through 61st Constitution Amendment Act. Am I clear? Right? So this is what happened during that time. So let's understand more points now, right? So when it comes to the sixth plan, I told you the period here. Target growth was 5.2%, but the actual growth was 5.7%. So obviously it is considered to be a success. Is that clear? That's it. Fine. So from here, let's go ahead and look at some points. The plan focused on increase in national income, modernization of technology. That is the reason why Rajiv Gandhi is considered to be the pioneer of technology, right? And that is the reason why Congress party even say that the information technology started gaining ground in India during the time of Rajiv Gandhi, right? So continuous decrease in poverty and unemployment through schemes like TRISM, training rural youth for self-employment, IRDP, Integrated Rural Development Program, NREP, National Rural Employment Program, and also controlling population explosion. Broadly, the sixth plan could be taken as a success as most of the targets were realized, even though during the last year many parts of the country faced severe famine conditions and agriculture output was less than the record output of the previous year. So just last year during the sixth plan there was a problem. Otherwise everything went on well. That is the reason why sixth plan is also considered to be a success. Very, 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 very important. Fifth plan was a success. Sixth plan was also a success. Now when it comes to the seventh plan, so when it comes to seventh plan, 1985 to 1990, priority was given to the productive employment and energy. Agriculture was given the priority. Focus was on food, work and productivity, and industrial sickness occurred in small sector. All happened during the time of the Rajiv Gandhi as the Prime Minister. So the seventh plan period is 1985 to 1990. Is that okay? Next, let's go ahead. Look at this. So when it comes to the seventh plan, I am giving you some current information also. Seventh plan was a success as it exceeded the growth rate and reached 5.5%. At that time, a record level of food grain production occurred. I am talking about seventh plan. The most beautiful thing with respect to India is that we are increasing our agricultural productivity every year. Clear? I am giving you the latest figures. For the year 22-23, our agriculture production was 329.6 million tons. Please note down these points. And when it comes to the 2023 and 24, so when I say 23 and 24, I am mentioning about the agriculture year. Is that okay? Agriculture year that starts from July 1st to June 30th. So we are still here, right? We are in the month of April. We are still here. Is that okay? And according to this, the estimates for the year 23-24 will be 309 million tons. Meaning this is less than the previous years. But these are the estimates. Clear? And we'll get the clear picture later. Am I clear? Please write down this one. Also write down in the brackets, should be updated before your examination. Depending on your examination date, before the examination you have to update this. Am I clear? And I am giving you the current information. Clear? And we have to update this. Very, 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 very important. And before your examination, if it is not updated, no problem. From here you may get a question. Clear? Next. So when it comes to, this particular plan, right, 7th plan, target was this and actual growth was 6, right? Hence it is considered to be, a success. Alright? So when it comes to this plan, the plan aimed at accelerating food grain production, increasing employment opportunities and raising the productivity with a focus on food, work and productivity. So this is regarding the 7th 5-year plan, right? And next comes, the annual plan or plan holiday. So I told you already that was the time National Front government came to the power, right? And when it comes to, it was a coalition group, in fact. Large number of political parties in India have come together, right? So that was against the Congress party. And when it comes to Shri N.T. Rama Rao of Andhra Pradesh, he also played very crucial role during that particular time, right? And the government of that day, after, completing this, the 7th plan, it wanted to go for the plan holiday, meaning it wanted to take up the annual plans. That continued from 1990 up to the year 1992. I told you already, 1989 elections were held and National Front government, coalition government came to the power. Vishwanath Pratap Singh became the Prime Minister. After a period of time, he has been replaced by Chandrasekhar, and that Chandrasekhar government also, that Chandrasekhar government was supported by, outside support was given by Congress party. At that time, I told you already, in 1989 elections, though the Congress party became the single largest party of the Lok Sabha, it got just, 161 seats. But Rajiv Gandhi refused to form the government and he allowed, the National Front government to form the government. After the collapse of the VP Singh, right, when Chandrasekhar became the Prime Minister, Rajiv Gandhi, Congress party supported Chandrasekhar government from outside. But because of certain misunderstanding with respect to telephone tapping and everything, Rajiv Gandhi withdrew the support to Chandrasekhar government. Clear? That is the reason why, right, 1989 election, again 1991, inevitable midterm elections were conducted. And during that particular period, Rajiv Gandhi was brutally assassinated. And though the Congress party could not get the majority, it became the single largest party and it was invited by the president to form the government. Then Congress party requested Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao to come back into the politics and lead the government, and he continued as the Prime Minister from 1991 up to the year 1996. Clear? But remember, at that time it was a minority government for 5 years. Clear? At the time, and Shri P.V. Narasimha Rao was neither a member of Lok Sabha nor a member of Rajya Sabha. As I told you, he retired from the politics and he went to his hometown and he was, relaxing over there. But the situation demanded that he has to come back, he came back. Later he contested from Nandyal constituency, Kurnool district in Andhra Pradesh, right, with a thumping majority, and he became the Lok Sabha member, right, and that permitted him to continue as the prime minister for 5 years. Clear. After he came to the power, right, and the next year, meaning 1992, he formulated and implemented the next 5-year plan, 8th 5-year plan. Am I clear? So in this session we have discussed regarding 5th 5-year plan, 6th 5-year plan, and also 7th 5-year plan. But in between we also discussed regarding a rolling plan, and we also discussed regarding plan holiday, second plan holiday, second annual plan period. First annual plan period was 66 to 69. Second annual plan period is 1990 up to 1992. In between you had a rolling plan 1978 to 1980. Is that clear? So these are all the points we have discussed, and in the next session we will be discussing 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. So these plans will be completing in the next session, and that will be the end of our 5-year plans. Then we will be moving ahead with our other topics. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next session.